Okay, let's go around this way this time, because last time I went this way. Oh yeah, someone else. Yeah. Alright, so how have your observations, actually you did the practice.
Yes.
How's that been going?
It's been doing good. I am stepping into, this morning I did the first morning meeting, and then I have my full teach on Friday. Hers is a little funnier because she has the research program involved, so I have to do Friday and then Monday. And my last day is Valentine's Day, so I'm going to make them something special. But it's really nice. It's like love, friendship, and kindness this week. So we get to do lots of hearts and some activities for that. So I have some fun stuff. So I was having to make my lesson plans, and I have you filled the bucket today? I don't know if you guys read it. It's like a kid's book about how to, like, kindness acts fill your bucket and your friend's bucket. So I'm gonna let them make their own bucket, and then have them go around and like put hearts in and say something nice to each other. So I'm really excited about it this week. But I can't believe it's over, and I'm like kind of sad. It's like I'm gonna miss them. They're like my babies.
Yeah.
It's going really good.
Do you want to teach that younger?
I actually do not.
No. Even with this experience?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good experience. I mean, because it was funny because I'm the only pre-K through 6 person that's here.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it just to get the experience because it seems funny to say I'm a pre-K through 6 specialist because I haven't taught pre-K or I haven't been with that group. So at least I can feel like, you know, what I'm doing. I think it really helps with like the behavior aspects because if you can control 17 3 to 5-year-olds, you can take that really and turn it into 17, 20 third graders. Like, I think it'll help turn around how I think about approaching them and reacting. Because I see a lot of the more negative aspects in school. So like this is a lot helpful to try and keep it positive, going in the right direction. But public school is definitely where I really want to be.
Yeah, 3rd grade or higher.
Yeah, or anything, like maybe 2nd or higher or something like that.
That's cool.
I can do all those.
Well, it's good that you got experience then.
It is.
No, you still don't want to do it.
I mean, it's not like I couldn't take it if I needed to. I'll do it. But if I would really like to stay in public schools. I like that more of an atmosphere.
Cool.
I like it.
So what did you do for your morning meeting? What is that?
So I basically just ran. So we did a morning song with them. So I had to copy all the CDs and learn like the little cute songs, and then and then I introduced a book to them, which they really liked. It was like 2 best friends that were really odd, like Freckle Face. It was funny. It was a Julianne Moore book. I didn't know she wrote books. But it was called Freckle Face Strawberry, and it's basically about like a little girl who's freckle faced and she's little, and her best friend is a really tall, big guy. They call him Windy Pants. So the kids got that. And then how like people started talking about, oh, why are you guys friends? She can't do this. He's just funny looking. But in the end, they missed each other. So it was like, in the end, it's like, who cares what other people think? You 2 are friends. That's all that matters. So it was a really cute book. So I did book, and then weather, and then the calendar and jobs.
Cool.
So she has me do like little things so that I'm ready for full teaching. I can do everything. Yeah.
Cool. Good job.
Thank you.
This past week wasn't as hectic for me. I didn't really teach a whole lot. I was just helping in the centers and everything. Friday we did a little book on Groundhog Day, and I got to teach them about Groundhog Day, and we did shadows and all that. We did the same thing. It was pretty fun. Friday we did get a new girl. Her name is Michaela. She's from Russia. And we had gotten another little girl, Poppy. I know I've talked about her a little bit. And she's just as precious as can be, and she's just trying her best to learn, and she's kind of meek and soft-spoken. And then we got this little Michaela, and I guess we weren't really prepared for her. She is bananas. Wide open. Yeah, she came in, and we couldn't get her to sit down or stay anywhere. And if we tried to kind of move her one way, she would scream at you, no, 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 and she'd start freaking out. So we were just like, okay, how are we going to deal with this? So we kind of we've been brainstorming on how to deal with her today and kind of help her. Miss Brady's got some little pictures of like, now it's circle time, or now it's snack time, or this is what's happening now, and this is what we're going to do in a minute. And we might have to get a timer out to help her stay focused at a table, because she's just not at all interested in sitting down and doing anything. She just wants to play. And I mean, I know I know the first day is probably like that for a lot of those kids because they're in a room with all these new toys and they want to touch everything and everybody, and but she was really combative. Like, she didn't really take our suggestions lightly.
Can she understand you?
She does speak English, yeah. I don't know that she speaks any Russian, which was kind of odd because her mom speaks fluent Russian. I think they're a military family and they had just moved from Sweden, I think is what she said. So I don't know if it's maybe the uncertainty of her not being in the same place for a long time or something like that that might get her riled up. But it's going to be interesting the next 2 weeks. So that's we have a lot to think about and figure out with her. But I think if that's the best classroom she could probably be in to get in the routine of things. So we'll see what happens. And then I'm just working on lesson planning and stuff for my week of teaching, which will be the week of Valentine's. And, billings and friends and family and the heart and the body and things like that.
So you take over like the whole week?
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
To do everything.
Yeah,
It's a
I'm really
little
scared.
daunting.
I'm not like very prepared. I don't feel like I'm very prepared for my week.
I can be as
Because
prepared
I'm
as
doing
I
the same
want,
thing
but
as
once you
Valentine's.
sit down, you're just like,
Right.
oh, here we go.
That's what I'm
I mean, Miss
nervous
Charlton,
about.
she sits there and then she's like, come on kids, like, Miss Ryan's teaching. And I'm just thinking, I'm losing them, I'm losing them.
Yeah.
I'm thinking in my head.
You're looking like, where is she?
I was like, it's going wrong. And she was like, how'd you feel today? I'm like, I don't know, you tell me. She's like, oh, it's fine. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's definitely
It's
scary.
definitely scary.
Well, my experience isn't as exciting as Leah's. It's been kind of calm. We've had quite a few kids out last week. Only about 12 to 13 kids every day. But I'm working on the same thing, my lesson plans for next week, which is Valentine's, and I am scared to death. I feel like I'm not very prepared. I have my centers all planned, but when it comes to circle time, I'm kind of lost. Because I feel like there's only so much you can talk about with Valentine's Day for a 3-year-old, for them to really understand the concept. And whereas Leah, she could probably talk about the body and the different body parts and really get into that, but I don't think a 3-year-old would really understand, or it wouldn't be as exciting to them, and they wouldn't want to sit down and listen to that. So I'm struggling with trying to get on their level and put it into perspective to where they'll understand and not be redundant with the whole, being kind and love and friendship. And so I'm still working on that, but it's been going okay, going pretty good. Can't believe it's almost done. Next week is our last week, and then into public school. But I'm kind of like you. I don't think I'm really for preschool. I'm more for public school and kindergarten and that maybe. So we'll see. So would you do a preschool class in a public school? Like a Head Start thing?
I think so. I mean, I would do it if I absolutely, needed to. Not my preference, but I mean, I worked at a preschool for about 2 years. I was the assistant, so I wasn't really used to doing all the lesson plan and having to teach, and I was kind of getting the stuff together for her. But it's a lot different. But I would do it if I absolutely had to, if it came down to it. But I would prefer something a little bit older. So.
That 3-year-old age is.
It's tough.
It's tough.
I have 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds, and so it's kind of a, not a big age gap, but big enough to where some of them understand certain things, and then some of them are just completely clueless. And then, we have a little Down syndrome boy, so having to find activities for him and to really teach on his level as well is also something that I have to think about. So.
Yeah, the circle time especially, when you're trying to keep all those kids engaged, it can be really challenging.
Well, we have the students from upstairs with the cochlear implants come in as well. So we have about almost 20 kids come in, and it's like crazy, and trying to keep them on task. And
They're so funny at that age. They can just see like a bug and just be gone for an hour.
Yeah.
Well, they start to look at their
They
shoe.
say
It's
the
bothering
funniest
shoe.
things too. Like last week, we were talking about hair, and one of the activities Miss Brady had was a bunch of different pictures of little kids with different kind of hairstyles, and
whatnot, and she was talking about this one particular picture, and the way the picture was taken, I don't know if you saw it, but it was taken from like a different angle, like up, high, so it looked like her legs were cut off. Well, Miss Brady asked, like, and I think she had like a facial expression like, oh my gosh, and Miss Brady was like, why do you think she's making that face? And one little girl goes, well, she's trying to find her legs. And I just lost it, because I was like, well, I can see why you think that, because you can't see her legs. And it was just the cutest little thing. And I thought, they're just so innocent. They just, they have no clue. But it was so cute. It just, we just laughed for like 5 minutes. But
That's really fun.
Well, last week I went to observe Miss Pearson's class, and they were doing circle time. And they were doing like math skills, so they were learning greater than, less than, and equal to. And I was like, wow, you can really grasp that concept, because I think it's like a 3rd grade math skill. So it was pretty amazing that they could understand it. And then after that, they were doing reading. And a lot of the kids were getting antsy and getting up to go to the bathroom and get water. And there was like one kid, he was just so into it. He kept saying stuff, like he kept repeating what was going on in the book, or he would put his own ideas out there. And I wish Ms. Pearson could ask questions to the kids to get their ideas of the book, because it makes them included and they're not, antsy all over the place. But that's one thing that stood out to me. And another thing is the same boy who was into the book during like their little, I think, activities, because like they had 2 tables, one for the math skills and the other one for the penguin. And the kids, they were getting into an argument over trains, and the kid who was involved with the reading, he stepped in and was like, hey, you have this train and you have that train. And it was just, I thought it was so cute, because like they get into conflicts. Yeah, it's so serious, and they get into conflicts, but it's temporary. And then by the end of it, they're just playing trains again. And I just think it's just amazing. I wish adults could be like that.
The attention span is just gone.
yeah, they're over it in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
We have to hold grudges for like years.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
it's ridiculous. Then they forget what they had a grudge over. It's like, life's too short.
Or can you imagine like walking up to someone and be like, do you want to be my friend?
That's how a lot of friendships probably started. This long. I don't remember.
Can you imagine what someone would say? Like, no. Not at all. Yeah. I always think it's funny. Like, can you imagine as adults walking up to someone just saying what the kids say to each other?
Yeah.
Watch me!
It would be a nicer world. It would be a nicer world.
Yes, it would be. Watch what I can do. And imagine adults being like, yeah! Oh, what would be a nicer world? No wars. Nothing. Oh, too bad. So why she never asked a question, or never asked the kids to ask questions about the story?
And I wish she did, because it seemed like, some of the kids were getting up and going to the bathroom. The teacher assisted how to keep them focused. And I think it would have been better if she, asked questions, or kind of stopped and asked them, hey, what do you guys think about this? I forgot, it was called Up and Down, but I forgot who was by, and I forgot what the story was altogether, because I was focusing on them. But
Right.
It looks like a good book, and they could have grasped something from it instead of them just sitting down and reading. So yeah.
I've read that once if you're doing that, once 2 or 3 get up to go to the bathroom or get interested in something else, you've lost their attention.
Yeah.
You might as well move on to something else.
Yeah.
Because it's just like a domino effect. Once they see 2 people get up, they're like, well,
Yeah,
where
they're
do they
like,
go?
okay, I'll go.
Well, maybe I need to go. They're not even concentrating on the teacher, even if they're trying to prompt them at that point. It's kind of a lost cause.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe asking questions would have kept them sitting down.
Kept them more engaged.
Yeah.
I observed, is her name like Dutch or
Deutsch.
Okay. I observed in her room, and it was like from 11:30 to 12:30. And usually I observe in the early morning, so they were really hyper when they first come in. I actually saw them playing outside. And at first it was just their class, and then 2 of the kids with the implants came down. But I felt kind of bad for them because everybody at first, like, usually, you know, you see like one kid by themselves, nobody's playing with them. They're all interacting, and then when the 2 kids came down, nobody would play with them, so I felt kind of bad for them. And another class came in, and I thought it was, I mean, the playground's not too big, so I thought it would be kind of like overwhelming. But they all like, they would get up and move to something else, so left all their class play on stuff, so it's kind of interesting. How they all like know the routine, like now it's not my turn to get off and nobody has to say anything. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Did you only observe them outside?
No, I observed them inside, but they're like, one teacher had them, a few kids at a time, like reading and writing, and everybody else was just off doing their own thing. But they kept like, a couple of kids kept migrating to that table, even though she was like working on them one-on-one. And they would like come bring their art stuff over. And, like they were trying to get attention from her, but they're just doing their artwork right by the teachers. It was so funny.
Okay, during my observation, they were doing some sort of research thing outside the door. You were there.
Yeah, that was
Who was it?
It was Charlton, and there was only one teacher in there at a time with like 10 kids, and she was just kind of overwhelmed, so she was just like letting them do their independent play and trying to keep an eye on them because kids were coming in, kids were going out, and it was kind of crazy. But the kids, what I really noticed is the kids, they kind of entertain themselves, and they're really independent. They do their own thing, and they're really respectful of each other. It's insane. I've never seen kids like that before. They're so nice to each other. One little girl was crying, and one little girl came over to check on her and patted her on her shoulder and everything, got her some tissues, gave her a hug. It was the cutest thing ever. and then they started playing together and everything. I'm just in awe by just how nice and respectful they are to each other.
That's so cute.
It was.
I think that's
It
just
makes you wonder what
Charlotte.
happens.
She's very good about, like, even if they hit each other or they fall and one's crying, she's like, can you check on your friend? Can you make sure they're okay? Like, I feel inadequate sometimes because like she knows what to say at every single moment, and I'm like, oh, it's okay. That's all that came out of her mouth, and I'm like, okay, I gotta work on that.
I feel the exact same way. Yes.
I'm like, what do I say?
I'm sorry.
I'm like, you okay? Miss Charlotte comes in and is like, well, maybe you should check on your friend, and maybe. And I'm like, I know, I'm like making a mental note, like, say that next time. But she's very good about like every interaction. She uses both parts to tell each other like, you should say this and you should feel like this, and I'm just like, wow.
Well,
She's
it
like,
has to be the adult
yeah.
influence.
I feel like it
yeah.
I think it comes with experience, you know, to have the right thing to say.
Yeah.
Instead of, I'm sorry.
I'm like, are you okay? It's gonna be okay.
I feel like that. I think it's awkward. They're like, you have something else to say? No. I know.
That's all I got.
Now go no. Yes. When that experience hits, that would be nice.
Yep.
Anything else? Okay.
I observed in my own classroom because I work in the afternoon, so I went in the morning time to see how the kids were. And it was art time. They were first all slow getting in. They were really slow. So there was only like 5 kids until like 9 o'clock.
How old?
The 1s and 2s.
Oh, okay.
And let's see, they did art. What were we doing? They did owls with paper plates, and they made hearts for the face and said "We love you." And so they were doing art, and they did it in groups of 2. So that wasn't too bad, but I noticed where the mess comes from every morning. Morning assistants. So it was a total mess in the kitchen. But they do the art activities in groups of 2, and then they're on the floor playing with boxes. Our kids love cardboard boxes. We stack them up, they crawl across them, make bridges, they do it all. And then they also had dress up. So it was really cute to see the girls trying to dress up the boys and putting hats on and taking pictures. And they even had purses to try and share with the boys. So like the boys interacted, it was really cute. And then, let's see, they did all of that. and then they're getting ready for snacks, so they had circle time, and all the kids sat still pretty well for the most part. There's a few kids who know they sit at the table first because they take forever, so they are in a rush to go wash their hands. So one little girl must have went the steps 3 or 4 times. So then they're fine, they're ready to wash, so that they go one by one, they wash their hands. I'm just proud to see that finally by January they're all doing it independently, they're all using their words, they're not pushing anymore, and they go and sit down and they have their snack. And they clean up, they take their own cups to the sink. Right now we're working on using the big kid cups, so it's a lot of spills. So I saw a few messes, and it was really cute because you can see some of the girls, they're like Hannah, one of our little girls, she's mess, and she's pointing and she wants to clean it up, and the kids will help clean up now. So it's really great to see how they improved in their morning efforts.
That's pretty cool. And they're so young and they do
Yeah.
all of that.
And they're really sweet nowadays for some reason. They're always helping each other out now. It's really cute.
Good. Anything else to add? Anybody? Okay, then we'll just watch more of the 101s. And I think there is a cord on the computer, but it's like this long and it has to go all the way to the other side,
Right.
so it's not gonna work. So we just have to be really quiet. Yeah. There we go.
Children repeat the behaviors that work and eliminate the behaviors that don't work. As adults, we need to make sure that we give our attention to appropriate behavior, not inappropriate ones. Our job is to shape the behavior that works for the child into acceptable behavior. Children want our eyeballs, so we need to look at the child when he's doing what we think is the right thing to do. This is difficult for most adults. For some reason, we've been programmed to look at the child and give him attention when he's misbehaving. It's up to you to make sure that you give your eyeballs, your attention, and your energy to a child when he's exhibiting behaviors that you want him to repeat. This takes discipline on your part and often requires that you retrain yourself to react differently than you were trained to react by the adults in your life. Unless the child is doing something dangerous, destructive, or embarrassing, it's wise to ignore or look the other way when you see behaviors that are annoying. On the other hand, you need to develop strategies for reinforcing the positive behaviors that you want to see more often. These vignettes will provide examples to help you achieve this goal. This is connect before you correct, and we want to do everything we can to connect to children, whispering to them, touching them, holding them, patting them on the back, letting them know that you care about them, spending time looking at them in the face, touching them, giving them validation. All of those are ways that we connect. Children will learn to live a healthy lifestyle by being taught values that reflect healthy choices. Here the children are washing their hands, which is such an important habit to teach early on in order to prevent illness and the spread of germs. Adults can also model healthy habits for the children in their care by eating nutritious meals, getting regular exercise and rest, and balancing work and leisure activities. Even play involves teaching and learning. These children are working on developing their social skills as they work cooperatively, playing around child adjusts by joins in the group, it is important that we not only set reasonable expectations for children's behavior, but that we also are willing to teach and reteach when needed until positive habits are learned.
Okay, need another girl this time. And you know what? I want to say, Fiona, you're doing a super job with right now. Look at her. She sings Kiss Cross Applesauce. She's got her quiet thumb up. You are doing super, Fiona. Super. Good job being patient.
In this example, the teacher is teaching the children his expectations for appropriate behavior. He stops what he's doing and announces to the group that he wants to thank the child that is sitting crisscross applesauce with a quiet thumb in the air. Now he's reinforced that child with great choices and taught the others what he's looking for.
Okay, you ready?
Peek-a-boo. Peek-a-boo.
You want to play trick or train? You'll have to touch my shoulder. Do-do, da-da-do-do. Kinda, I know. Me with the shoulder. Yeah, shoulder.
Shoulder teaching.
You'll touch her shoulder gently.
Her to be gentle.
Touch her shoulder. Sam, thank you for using your gentle hand.
Thank you for your gentle hands. Say it all the time. Eventually, the children are saying it themselves. Gentle. Whoops. Gentle.
Wow, that's such a gentle hand. How about what the dog is there? What the dog? Boy has two shoes. Bear has two shoes. Can you ask nicely? Thank you for using work.
Can you share?
Shall we Zoe? Zoe wants to have Zoe.
She's asking nicely if she can you share. Can you share?
Zoe, I
Share the
have a
doggy.
doggy.
Thank you.
There's another doggy. Okay. Mommy, can you switch? Mommy, switch. Thank you.
We thank children ahead of time before they actually do what we want them to do. They sort of get the idea.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, she shared with you. Thank you for sharing.
Okay. Feel will rock the baby.
Rock the baby. She's teaching. This is the modeling principle where the teacher is modeling rocking the baby. Good job, baby. She's showing how to be gentle, how to rock. Very often children pick up babies and do the same thing. Those children hold the baby.
Back. The driver on the bus said, you ask Sarah if she'd like her kiss.
Ask Sarah if she would like a kiss. So you model that. You show them how to do that.
You sure would like a kiss?
They're playing with puppets to show, to demonstrate, and then letting children demonstrate by doing it themselves.
Art, you ready for art? Can you use your word?
Please. We teach sign language to children, and she's just teaching them for please. And children start doing it themselves and for please.
Can you use your word?
Before they can talk, children can sign, and that helps them to communicate. And it gives them power to be able to talk with people before they can talk. For please. The Wadlers all you've heard them use this. Some of the infants even do. For please. Successive approximations where we don't expect perfection, They're going to do the chicken dance here, and she's reviewing how to do it. And if they don't do it perfectly, that's okay. Every day they get a little bit better.
We have a news bulletin. Everybody look. Clark, show him what you did. Look at his print book. Are you proud? Give Clark a hand. Good work. Good work.
The teacher notices improvement in this child's printing and draws the class's attention to his progress.
Hello. Won't you come over and play?
These children are learning movements to go with the song the teacher is singing. The teacher encourages their efforts as they learn. The focus is on trying and learning, not achieving.
Pick up blow kiss all the time.
Blow kisses. Blow kisses. When children want to bite, you teach them instead of blow kisses. Give them something they can't do. There you go. Give them something they can't do instead of talking about what they're doing that you don't want them to do. The parents love it when you teach children blow kisses. It empowers them, makes them feel empowered and in control. We see children really caring about each other. When one child cries, another child is very empathic and comes over and gives the child a pat and hug. Are you okay? And we want to reinforce that. She's holding his hand to try to help him feel better. We want to reinforce that and make a big deal over empathic behavior when we see it.
Would you like to be the official butterfly holder till the other children come? I would like to tell you that as the grown-up, I have to warn you that it has a little stick right there, so the stick part needs to stay on the floor, okay? So that it doesn't hurt you, or scratch you, or poke you.
As the grown-up, this teacher thought ahead of time about how this stick might be misused. She proactively plans ahead and tells them how the sticks can be used safely. As the adults, it is our job to protect children and remember that they rely on our experience and good judgment to keep them safe from harm.
Can you see the happy face? Yes, stand up, happy faces. Oh, we only one happy face here. I'm sorry you saw that.
This is the apology principle, and we encourage our teachers to apologize and validate the children often.
Oh, I chose a wonderful name. Bye. Sorry, Daddy has to go to work now. Can I say bye-bye? I will come help you.
Again, the child's feelings of sadness are validated as the teacher says, "I'm sorry, Dad has to go to work."
Emily Jen, oh, sorry, Dad, you okay?
We do not require the children to apologize to one another, but provide lots of positive examples of teachers apologizing when it is appropriate. Forcing a child to say "I'm sorry" when he really is not may teach him to rectify wrongdoings by simply saying the words. It also may be encouraging a child to lie if they are not sincerely sorry.
Get the music. Shake, shake, shake. Sorry, this is no music.
Sorry, this is for music. We apologize frequently, and the children model that very quickly. And then they say sorry when they mean it, not when we're forcing them to say it. Here the teacher asks another adult to help her reinforce the positive behavior she's observing in the child. Children love to know that we're noticing them making good choices and sharing the good news with others. Soon, positive choices will become more and more abundant. The divide and conquer principle focuses on preventing problems by recognizing potentials for disruption or unsafe situation, preventing the child before the difficulty occurs. Here, one child begins to play with the hair of another child playing on the floor. Before the situation escalates, the teacher moves the child to the other side of her.
Let's go to the other side and find our closed off.
In this situation, the play area gets a bit congested and the potential for a problem is more likely. The teacher leads a small group of children away to another activity in a less busy location.
Leave your animals on this side if you would like to dance with the dancing worms.
The teacher reminds the children that the toys stay in one space so that safe dancing can happen in the other space. In this instance, the toys and the children are divided for safety reasons. By setting boundaries and thinking ahead, many potential problems can be avoided.
That's probably good. Like Tom. Did anyone use those principles in their classes this week? Sure you did. Probably did without even noticing it.
I know Miss Brady does.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah, please.
Okay, the people in 476 can stay for an extra like 5 minutes. You guys are good to go.